And when this kid commented that he didn't want to work for Jews, I thought it was an obligation to show people, and that exploded across the world internationally, positive and negative, and that's kind of how we got here.
Most platforms are not very friendly to renters. They're more geared towards the landlord and the property manager. We want to help both sides. So we do see some way that we can get into the market with like these more tenant-friendly malls.
And I don't want kids that see the negativity to be afraid to hide their keeper or hide their identity. I want them to see the positivity also and actually use that and realize that it's much stronger.
I'm here with two very, very special guests. Guys, I'm here with Gabe and Aiden Einhorn. Okay, but before I welcome you properly, your father's presence is here in this room. Shamir Einhorn, your dad is probably one of my longest, best advertisers. Jewish Link. He's again, we're not talking about your dad. Promise you, we'll stop as soon as. But just a shout out to your father, who you guys sort of look like a little bit, but he owns Contempo. He also owns Factory 220. He started a restaurant, and you guys are following in his footsteps. We invited you here because we've written about you. We've invited you here because you've been in the news lately. But first of all, welcome and tell us a little bit about. I guess the older brother can go first, but just tell us about what's going on. Tell us about you've had a very interesting last month.
For sure. Yeah, thank you for having us on, and shout out to our dad too. He's our biggest inspiration behind everything, and he's the one who gave us the full support to go chase our dreams and build a company, and never had a doubt in going for it and trying to achieve that. So great shout out to him. And obviously I'm Gabe, and I'm older than Aiden, as you all know. And it's been a crazy couple weeks, obviously building a company and then getting into the media. And
but not everyone. I'm assuming some people know, but just
yeah, the story.
Let's go further back. Let's give me the 60-second, 1-2 minute. Let's get there. Tell us why you're here, how you got here, and then we'll talk about what the craziness of the last month.
Yeah, so we got here obviously because we were building a company called VryfID, which now matches renters and landlords based on verifications and preferences. And we posted a job listing. Aiden's in college, and we're looking for college students. And we had a student who said that he's not interested in working for a Jew. I've been posting on social media now for about 16 months, and I wear my kippah. I never actively posted about being Jewish or Israel or stuff like that. I just kind of looked it and acted it passively, and that started generating people commenting about being Jewish. So then I started stepping more into my Jewish identity. And when this kid commented that he didn't want to work for Jews, I thought it was an obligation to show people, and that exploded across the world internationally, positive and negative, and that's kind of how we got here.
And originally, so this guy, Austin Franco, he originally, you did not mention his name. You did not, others found his name. So yeah, that's I think what got started.
Yeah.
So he's a Cornell kid, and he was first of all, how big a company are you guys now? Where are you holding, like, growth wise?
Yeah, so it's just me and Gabe full time, but we have about 30 interns, 4 developers that work.
You hold 30 interns?
Perhaps we try to.
Okay, well, we currently have 5, and managing them is a challenge. So, and I hope that some of those interns hopefully become full-time employees.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Okay. And I understand you are still in school. You're in NYU, graduating next year.
Yeah.
Okay. And you handle kind of like so you're the inside, the operations side?
Yeah. So I manage all the interns, our developers, working on like development of the product, structuring the company, handling everything that's behind the scenes, and Gabe's more the front facing.
We'll get to I will hear about the incident shortly. I want to hear more about it, but just I'm interested in the business side of it. Like, just tell me a little bit about what kind of led you to VryfID. I know you come from an entrepreneurial family. What was that moment that says, hey, we got to do something?
It was actually going through the rental process. Aiden was looking for an apartment last summer as an NYU student with a couple friends, and he came home after 2 months of still not finding an apartment and just going through all the problems of the competitiveness, losing out on apartments, applying to 20 different apartments. And he came home and he's like, there's got to be a better solution for it. And we kind of just brainstormed together, and we came up with a solution for it.
Where did you come up with the idea that so you had frustration finding the apartment, but it wasn't, but that's not really what the company's about, per se. Because it's really a service to landlords also, correct? Yeah, find the right tenants, find the right, or the pre-screened tenants. So just so you mean, how did you come to the bigger picture of VryfID?
Yeah, so I guess it comes like our belief is one of the most effective business models to sell to the landlords and the brokers. So our idea is to by helping them find pre-screened tenants, we're essentially helping the renter get an apartment much easier. Instead of having to go look on Zillow and StreetEasy and contacting hundreds of apartments, going to tour them, hoping you're the one that gets chosen. If you're pre-verified and our AI agents can bring your profile to the apartments you qualify for, and the renters and the brokers interested in you, then that essentially helps all the renters find apartments much quicker and easier.
Don't landlords have access to some of these kind of tools on their own, like checking? I mean, can't they do a quick check, like a credit check, a criminal, don't they have some of that tools already?
So most of the tools are done on the back end. So after they get people reaching out, then their leasing agents schedule tours, and then they send them a link to apply and qualify them. So at that point, they already wasted time with 30 people touring. Their leasing agents are wasting all their time instead of actually closing. They're in the apartment showing it. So we can tell them these are the 3 people that you should show to, and you already have their qualifications, and they can move on with the process much quicker. And we get into the problem with fraud also. It's become a big problem.
What kind of fraud? Like people not showing up, or not paying rent, or
fake identities, fake documents. Like with most landlords still rely on uploading PDFs of income documents, so proof of funds, bank statements, and those are very easily fraudulent now with AI. So our idea was eliminate documents and connect right to their bank account. And our goal is we want to help the renter and help the landlord. So if we give the renter the ability to connect to their bank account before they go through the process, we're going to help the renter be more qualified and help the landlord get a better tenant.
So in essence, you could, if you really succeed, like the renters would only be like really many top. I mean, there would be it would be very, very hard to commit a fraud. Like you're here saying, interesting. So what's been the response? The response has been so far, like you guys are what now, 7-8 months into the business? When did you start?
We started September really, and then we launched our initial product in like February time, which was just the verification process, which comes from the name VryfID, where landlords are using us to screen the tenants, and we included the income verification so that you can't send fraudulent documents of bank statements and tax returns. And then the marketplace, we still haven't officially launched yet. We're going to pilot in the next couple of weeks with a couple large landlords in New York City that are going to utilize us. We're going to get that feedback, and we're going to evolve and grow with them.
And landlords, what are they thinking? Are they thinking that you're the greatest thing since like sliced bread, or they just feel like you're really answering a need for them?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the market. So it's New York and then the rest of the country. So we'll start where we're launching in New York City is the abundance of leads. So you post a listing and you have one client we're working with gets 2,000 leads a week. So his problem is, how do I filter through all these and pick the right one? So he's going to use us. We're going to work with him to qualify all those leads, and our AI agent will help him make the decision on, out of these 100 people, these are the 2 best you should move on with.
Interesting. That to me, that sounds valuable. Yeah. You know, I mean, and they never really. It's funny because that never really occurred to them that we need a tool to cut. Like if we get a 2,000 or 1,000, like even 250 or 200 is too many to go through for one person. Yeah. So in essence, you're really helping them. So hold on. So they just load all these leads into VryfID, or it'll be right now, or hopefully in the future they'll already be it.
Exactly. So there's 2 different business models. The ones that already like their lead generation through these listing platforms, we're building AI agents that will actually handle all the lead nurturing. So anytime someone reaches out to you, our AI agents will respond to the renter and get him to tour, get him to apply, and then that application is through our platform. We verify their identity, income, and credit, and our AI agent says, okay, out of these 50, I was explaining, these are the 2 best you should move on with. And the big goal is through Gabe's social media, we have renters coming to sign up with us already, and then we can match them to apartments, not just connecting to our clients' leads. Also, we have our own leads that we're generating.
So you're hoping the future is that anyone with an income in New York City or wherever, anyone looking for is going to sign up or to be part of VryfID.
Yeah.
And therefore, like when a listing in a building, let's say on the Upper West Side, that a lot of people want to be in, like they'll kind of be first in line, or there'll be some the landlord will definitely look at, as opposed to a few hundred others. You're saying potentially.
Yeah, I mean it goes across the board. It's not just for like the best tenants. We're also going to work with across the spectrum. So even for lower income or middle income, they'll be able to find their apartments much easier instead of essentially applying blindly and just reaching out and wasting your time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, every landlord has a need to make sure that the tenants speaking to them, if they're actually spending time on, is quality, or they have someone to pay the rent even.
Exactly.
Do you find that, by the way, do you find that anything changing today and with like the rent freezes? Are you guys seeing is the feeling in the rent the way like people have to make more money? Meaning like do they have to make sure that they're like every tenant is as good as possible? Like I would say landlords must be in a sense. You tell me, like what are landlords feeling? What are you hearing?
Yeah, landlords with the rent freeze, it's already important for landlords to find the right tenant, especially in New York City, where it's a very tenant-friendly city, and it could take them up to 12, sometimes 18 months to get rid of a bad tenant, which could lead to 12 to 18 months of $0 in rent, which can kill an entire building. And some of these landlords are going into foreclosure because they're not making enough money, and the taxes are going up, the expenses are going up, but somehow the rents are going down. And now with the rent freeze, it's even worse. So landlords have to take extra precautions to ensure they get the right tenant in the building, because if that tenant's locked in for 2, 3, 10 years, they got to make sure they're going to be paying them rent.
Wow. So you're saying, in a sense, the political climate is going to benefit you, or potentially could benefit you guys.
Yeah, and actually a couple ways, because they want to be even friendlier to renters, and that's most platforms are not very friendly to renters, or they're more geared towards the landlord and the property manager. We want to help both sides, so we do see some way that we can get into the market with like these more tenant-friendly laws.
So that's interesting. Okay, I mean, the joke in New York City is the biggest landlord, I think, is New York City. The city itself is actually the biggest landlord, and I'm not considered a great landlord.
Yeah.
Say. So it's interesting how the climate, economy, costs, could work in your favor. Like people got to take you seriously, on many levels. I like it. Give me so where are you? It's now July. Where's the business holding? Have you seen any revenue? Tenants? Can you give us? You mentioned a pilot. Where are you looking to raise money? Tell my viewers. Tell me.
Yeah. So we haven't been actively looking to raise money. We've had conversations with different VCs and stuff like that. The last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of cool Jewish people that are in the businesses that have reached out. Thank God, and it's more of a consideration for us to potentially partner with them and take money from them, because we see that they understand the business, they understand how to build a company, how to grow a company. So those are the type of people that we would want to partner with. The business, so we started getting revenue a couple months ago on the screening platform. The marketplace itself is launching hopefully in the next couple weeks. We're going to pilot it with those first couple landlords, and we're going to test that. That's really like the game changer. And once we see how that works, then we take it to the moon.
So in a sense, you really have, it's almost two different businesses, two separate, they're linked, but it is two different business models in a sense. Correct. It's all like, I mean, for example, you may find that the Verify, the landlord side may do even better. Correct. And or may just be just a product that sells easier. But I like it, and like a typical entrepreneur, you try, you make a good faith effort, and you just hopefully more than one thing will stick. So the pilot is beginning when? August? When are you guys starting?
Hopefully that in the next week we'll onboard our first client.
Wow, so I'm going to wish you mazel tov. Well, thank you on your first client, and I'm sure it took a lot of work, a lot of effort. I want to hear about those messages you got from some of the people. You're in this situation. It was almost, it was in the Daily News Post, online everywhere, and then these business people start reaching out. You mentioned a fellow McGuire from Seneca, Joe Lonsdale. Like, these are some of the biggest names in the venture capital world. Tell me how some of these conversations went, tell me what they said, what you took away from them also.
For sure. It's actually funny. So Joe Lonsdale was one of the first people who commented on my initial X post of the screenshot of the kid's message. And his initial response is that since I blocked out the kid's name, I didn't even realize at the time it was Joe Lonsdale. He said, either this is fake or you're weak for not posting the kid's name, because the only way for Jews to stop this is to actually show them that there's consequences for their actions. So that's how the whole thing really exploded, I think, is because then it got into a whole debate where people were yelling at Joe Lonsdale, both on the Jewish side and the non-Jewish side. Non-Jews and people who were supporting Austin Franco were saying, you're trying to ruin this kid's life, you're some billionaire. And then Jews were saying, hey, we don't know if this is the best move or not to expose the kid, whatever. And then Joe Lonsdale kept on engaging with my stuff, and we happened to get on a call with him last week, which was very cool, and he just gave us some business advice. He invited us out to Austin. Hopefully we're going to go out there in October, meet with him. He was talking a little bit about Elon Musk. He just very casually mentioned that Elon hangs out at his house a lot, which is pretty cool to hear.
Technically, Elon, I think, doesn't have a house, so he supposedly hangs around with people. So.
Yeah, something like that.
So basically, what I'm hearing is you guys might be moving to Austin. No, just kidding. No, we need you in New York City here.
Yeah, we'll be here.
So stick in the city, please. Tell us what did he say? What other messages? Tell us what he said. Like, I want to hear. You guys that take any real chizuk, any like real support from that?
For sure. So I mean, Joe gave us a lot of chizuk just on like how to move forward and deal with this type of stuff. Obviously, staying strong. He's very like opposite. We spoke to him. We spoke to Sean McGuire, two of the biggest VCs in the world, two of the biggest, most successful people in the Jewish world and the world in general, who had two very separate pieces of advice for us. Sean McGuire, he called us like the second day after it happened. Like, he reached out right away. It was incredible. And he told us like the next 2 weeks is going to be really hard. And I recommend that you try to keep it low. Don't engage with any of these crazy people. It's not worth your time. It's only going to make it worse.
I love that advice.
Which was great because he compared it to soccer, and he didn't even know that we love soccer. And he's like, I love soccer. I'm going to compare it to playing soccer. When you play for the first time, you have no clue what you're doing. You suck, right? When you play for the 1,000th time, you get on the field and you understand the game. He's like, this is what do you call it? Information warfare. He's like, you've never played this game before. You have no clue what you're doing. Don't try to get in there and play the whole game and play around. Sit back, watch it a little bit, try to understand it so that next time you'll be better prepared. But this time, take a step back and relax. And it was very helpful.
I want you to love that because I'm in that world. I'm in the media world, and literally every single week things go wrong. Every single week, okay? Not a week goes by where there isn't some rabbi, a business owner, someone yelling at. We made for example, in this week we made two major mistakes, which I'm not going to share online but there are certain people who are upset, annoyed, and so I want to tell you something. First of all, lesson I've learned. I don't think anyone gave this advice to you, but if people are upset, it actually is not always a bad thing. Yeah. It first of all shows that you guys matter. You mean something. That it's important. That this thing it evokes passion. You know, that meaning there's something that you did that is really, it's powerful. Like, it's triggering people. That's not always a bad thing. Yeah. The next thing I'll say is that things always blow over. Mm-hmm. They're like, I think hopefully you're beginning to see that now. There's a little bit of a cooling down. You guys can focus on the next steps of the company. But when you're in those first weeks, must have been really crazy. Like, you're probably pulling out your hair, didn't know what to do per se. But I'm just saying, I'd been in this enough that I've learned not to overreact. That advice is so. But you're gonna start your, for example, pilot, and things are gonna be totally messed up, or things may go well with that first client or two, and then. But I'm saying problems are gonna come up, absolutely come up. Just listen, but don't react too quickly. Don't overreact unless you feel like you have to. Yeah, but just that's really powerful advice. And also, you guys are all young, so this is kind of like you're early in your business career. Hopefully, you'll see only growth going forward. So hopefully you'll see that. So I'm not happy for you guys, but because I'm sure you do want to go through this. But in a sense, it kind of puts you in a new place. Do you feel like you're able to, besides the message of support, do you feel like it's also helped you business-wise?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, the client that we're going to pilot with next week is actually somebody who saw us on Fox News and reached out because of the story. He's a Jewish guy, and he's like, saw your story, heard a little bit about what you're building. I own a lot of units. I've been playing around with AI for a while, and I've been trying to build something, and it seems like you guys are building something that I want to be involved with. So there's awesome. A lot of positive.
That's great. Okay, so that's what I wanted to hear. I was kind of hoping to hear. Yeah. One thing I tell my advertisers is that sometimes bad news is not always the worst thing. Very hard to tell that to someone. It's really, really. I'm just saying you guys lived through a really weird time, but you're saying you wouldn't have gotten that guy.
No.
Without this. Wow. Okay. It's a weird thing, like crazy, terrible, negative situation, and yet at the same time, you just. Hey, there's real light here. Like there things really happen. So my blessing to you is that kind of stuff continues.
I mean, and that was actually another thing Sean was telling us is that the evil people are much louder, but there's a lot more good people in the world than there are bad people. So just stick it out, and the good people will come and stick by you much longer than the bad people will.
I love that one. The answer is I agree with it. The problem I've always found is that the good people are too quiet. Yeah, we're not as loud as we're just not. We're not posting. We're not tweeting. We're not. It's just we're the good people are just not. But you got to know they're out there. And I'm actually happy that in a situation like this, you kind of saw some of those guys.
And another funny one was exactly what you just said. Joe Lonsdale said he got into an argument with Elon Musk about after everything that happened, because Elon's philosophy is that he wants X to be open, where you can hate on whatever you want to hate, because at the end of the day, it'll always play itself out. And Joe said the problem is that the Jews are too small of a population, and so even if we are allowed, there's for every 1 million bad people, there's only 100 Jews to counter that. So it's just, by the time it does settle itself out, everyone starts hating us already because they see 1 million people hating on us.
So did Joe lose his argument with Elon?
He's not going to get him to change, but yeah.
And by that's Elon's position. That's the Musk's position on X, is that he wants it to be free. I heard he just posted a video that's been banned in like half of Europe, or that he streamed free on X. So that this is how he is. Okay, so you guys got a pilot coming up. You got anything else you want to tell me about VryfID? Anything else going on? I actually, the challenge for me is how you're going to get those tenant eyeballs, like that other side of the business. To me, that's the challenge of every public-facing web business, is how do you get people to sign? It's one thing to go to 1,000 landlords and try to get maybe 10 or 15 or 20. How do you get of the millions? Like, how are you going to get them to your site? Like, how are you going? What's the strategy? How do you get them there?
Yeah, there's two ways. One is obviously just general marketing, guerrilla marketing on all social media fronts, both me and then the company, and then we're hiring more people to do more content around that, because that's really how we reach these Gen Z young people that are looking for apartments in New York City and are going through the struggles. The second is what we're actually doing, piloting with these first couple landlords, is that what Aiden said is we're operating in a closed marketplace with them to start. So for example, this landlord that we're starting with has 1,000 to 2,000 leads a week. He only has a couple thousand units, so he has way more leads than he does units. The idea is that we recycle all those extra leads and funnel them into the open marketplace. So now we're generating thousands of leads that we can now plug into other landlords that we get on the platform, and now we're getting thousands of leads right there.
You're saying that those 1,000, 2,000 leads per listing, you're also kind of plugging them into to VryfID, the larger marketplace. Okay.
Yeah.
So in a sense, signing up they're not just signing up for a lead; they're signing up also potentially for other things as well. So interesting. That's really cool. Okay, that's interesting. It's a benefit also. I mean, you should. I'm presuming you're touting that as a benefit to the tenant. What do you call it? Tenant. What do you call someone in the system?
Renter applicant.
Renter applicant.
Yeah, either one.
Maybe give them a cool name. It was non-respect.
Think it's on them.
But no, so that's really cool. What's been the biggest challenge? The last 8 months besides the incident. But what's been the kind of like the biggest obstacle, biggest challenge? Has it been hiring, growth, program? What kind of been like the biggest or one or two biggest challenges in the last 8 months?
Development of the platform definitely is like a big challenge, because we're both not super technical. So we had a team that was doing it, weren't so happy with them. So trying to figure out other ways to build our own team. So it's like trying to balance a team that we have, and then also building an internal team like amongst students and postgrad. So that like slow development phase was definitely one of the biggest challenges.
Do you think like it took a little longer to get where you wanted to be because of it?
Yeah, for sure.
Have you you solved those, or it's a work in progress?
We solved that now, and we're actually going to our office after this to meet with our team, 4 people that are working. One of our guys was up till he's still up. He hasn't slept yet. Still trying to finish for today.
I love that. That's great. Very good. That's awesome. That's great. So has there been any full-time hires yet? Have you hired? So you have not hired. So I'm looking at the Einhorn brothers, and we're waiting for that employee one, correct? That first employee.
Yeah.
Which you never get that, obviously.
Yeah. These 4 guys will be our first hires in some capacity.
Awesome. That's great. A big step, by the way. When you finally, when it's not just you. I mean, you guys are probably killing yourselves, for this, or have killed yourselves already for this, but that once you I'm just telling you as a business owner, once you have other people kind of really working for you 3/4 time, full time, it's like it's a different, you're not just a startup anymore. Hey, you're a real company. This is real. Anything else you want to share? Anything you want to tell tell our viewers, listeners, readers? Anything you want to? I was looking back, by the way. You guys have been in the paper many times. I don't know if you guys check your name, but Gabe, Aiden, you guys are both in the paper, Jewish Link a lot, and so I'm just saying a lot for soccer, a lot of Frisch, but it's just really nice for me to see you guys, kind of like you're out of that, you've moved beyond that, you're kind of really spreading your wings, and most guys are not starting companies at your age, and most guys are, you're doing something, you're kind of really early on that entrepreneur track.
For sure. I mean,
do you know that you wanted to not do what all your friends are doing? Like, do the regular corporate route, work somewhere, associate somewhere, and somewhere exclusively. Was that always the plan?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know exactly what, but I never wanted to follow like a typical path. I started selling sneakers in high school. Aiden started doing a little bit of that too. So like I was always entrepreneurial in that sense.
You were a sneakerhead, by the way? You were
A little bit, yeah. I started reselling and doing stuff like that. Always finding ways to like do something different. The business kind of just came, like the idea, and I knew that I was going to go for it. But I think it also stems from our dad, like him being entrepreneurial and then just giving us the freedom to say, hey, you go try things out. We have your back no matter what. We support you, whatever you want to do, obviously, as long as it's positive things. And that gives us the confidence and freedom to go out and fail. And that's how we had the confidence to go out and build this.
And you guys don't look the same. So you guys seem like good partners. Good, How do you handle disagreements, by the way, that come up? How do you guys go on the soccer field? Like, how do you guys say if you guys disagree on something? How do you?
We should do that. We should do like a one-on-one for it. But he's a lot more like chazak about his opinions. So I let him kind of handle the lead on the thoughts of building the company and stuff like that, and I kind of am the backseat to him.
So it's your vision, you kind of lead a little bit on the philosophy, so to speak, or though.
I try to push Gabe to help me more on that, but I definitely am very like strong on like what I see and what I want to build. So it's a partnership.
Right. So guys, this is a partnership that should really only continue. Hopefully we'll see you guys again only for smachot, in the community, out of the community business. Looking forward to just keeping tabs on you guys. I really hope the pilot market, everything goes. It's not gonna. I'm just telling you, it is not gonna go smoothly. You know that it's not gonna go smoothly. But every negative experience should be a positive growth experience. And stay strong. And just want to wish you. I always like to say, Kane, you guys should continue just doing your thing and rolling now. I'm really excited for you guys. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Well, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
So a lot of people have reached out about like the negative things. Obviously, we said the negativity speaks a lot louder than the positivity. And one thing that I wanted to say, and I've been trying to say this as much as possible, especially the last couple weeks, is that I want people to see the positive that comes out of it as well. And like obviously I wear my kippah, we're very open and proud about our Judaism. And I don't want kids that see the negativity to be afraid to hide their kippah or hide their identity. I want them to see the positivity also and actually use that and realize that it's much stronger and that it should lead them to be prouder, because after going through what we experienced the last 3 weeks, people might think like, oh, I'm going to take off my kippah, I'm going to hide it, I'm going to be afraid of it. But it's actually the opposite. And I think during those dark moments, you really see the strong people that stick with you, and you see why the Jewish nation is so strong. And I think it should, other kids that see this, other young entrepreneurs or kids in high school, college that maybe are not so proud about their Judaism or they hide it a little bit, should see this experience and be like, wow, like I want to actually step into it more, because there really is so much more positive that comes out of it. So that's what I want to tell people.
I love that message. I love it. You said it really nicely. And I know you said it really nicely you probably wouldn't have said it if you hadn't gone through this experience. I'm not sure
for sure, yeah.
But I'm cavelling. I'm just like really happy to hear you say that so strongly, especially, I'm an OG, you guys are really kind of represent, next Gen Z, next generation. If you're able to say that, I hope people hear you.
For sure.
Thanks for being with us on the Jewish Link Pitch Meeting podcast. If you would like to participate or be in touch with us in any way, please email us at editor@jewishlink.news and follow us and find our podcast wherever you find podcasts.